Hello everyone, welcome back to another Kerbal Space Program tutorial. Today I'm going to be doing a complete beginner tutorial on how to get to the Moon. And this is going to be, this is not going to have any squad expansions or mods. It's only going to have visual mods, I should say. So there's a few settings I'm going to need to show you. As a beginner you probably need to know for building the rocket I'm going to build in the VAB. It just turns on a few special features. Just make sure that in your settings on KSP all of those settings are right. You could pause the video back then. Anyway, we're going to start with a Mark 3 cockpit. Put on a heat shield. You can see the all the parts are looking a bit different than what it would usually look like. That's just because I got a visual mod that changes what the parts in Kerbal Space Program look like. So yeah, this is going to go to the MUN. I'll run you through all how to do this. And just see all the parts I placed and how to use it. So if you're watching this and you haven't gone into orbit, well, you should go into orbit. You should learn how to get your rocket into orbit, or else you won't know how to go on my mission. So anyway, you can see I'm making my mission there and saving it, just in case any crashes occur. So now we're going to start with a decoupler. This is going to decouple the upper stage from the lower stage, so we can enter the atmosphere. That heat shield is going to stop us from burning up in it. We're going to put in some solar panels to make sure we don't run out of battery. Now we're going to add on some fuel tanks. This is going to be for the lander that lands on the MUN, and it's going to return us on a trajectory back to Kerbin. So now we're putting on this engine. Now in your version, it'll look different. It'll have only like two cones on it, whereas mine, it's got 4. So it's called the Poodle engine. I think it's a Poodle engine. Anyway, it's got like little orange parts on it. So anyway, now I'm putting on decouplers to decouple this stage from the stage that's going to finish getting us into orbit, and is going to also get us to the MUN, orbit into MUN, and slow us into MUN orbit, and decrease our speed to land on the MUN. And you can see I've also put a fairing there just to make it a little bit more aerodynamic. Now I forgot to put landing gear on. You need landing gear on to make sure that your engine doesn't break if you land a bit hard on the MUN. So there's my landing gear. Just press start retracted. Pretty simple. Just right click on it. I should mention that you right click on it. Now we go. So this is the stage. Now that's the fuel tank for the previous stage I just mentioned. Now that's the Rhino engine. It looks a bit different. So that's going to get us a fair way of the mission. That's probably going to be the part that gets us the most of the mission. So now I put in a decoupler. That'll decouple us from the stage that's going to get us out of the atmosphere and mostly into orbit. So just 2 of these fuel tanks here. And like I said, all these parts are all not in the squad expansions. So you'll just be playing bare KSP 1. I do have quite a few visual mods installed, but nothing that affects gameplay. I've turned all of them off using the janitor's closet, a mod that I've got on my laptop. So now you can see I'm adding some boosters, just making sure that I've got tons of Delta V, so if you make some mistakes, it's going to be less of a worry for the amount of mistakes that people make, the amount of mistakes you make. So as you can see, I'm also adjusting my staging there. Adjust your staging if you're doing a proper recreation of mine. Just make sure all your staging looks the same as mine. And when you put your cursor over the what the different stages are, it'll highlight them in on like the actual parts in the VAB. So you won't need to fiddle around and try and figure that out. So anyway, putting aerodynamic nose codes on it just helps with the visuals, and also makes it a little bit more aerodynamic. As you can see, I've also got some decouplers there. Make sure you use the same ones, or else you may have put the wrong kind of decoupler, or it may not decouple. Anyway, so now I'm just making sure I haven't got too much fuel on the boosters, because sometimes those boosters are really efficient sometimes, and they can use up a lot of fuel. I mean, they don't use up much fuel, and they end up burning out after the after the main core stage, which is the stage that gets you through the atmosphere. Now you can see I'm adding these. These ones here, using symmetry. Those basically hold the rocket off the launch pad, and make sure that the thing isn't on the ground. So this to be able to probably get to Juna, make a mission to Juna probably, but beginner you need to probably do it like how I'm doing, like do a mum mission first. You can see I'm also getting my crew. This is just all my Kerbals. So I'm just going to Kerbal or Astronaut Complex, I think they call it. And just get selecting some Kerbals. Also, if you want to know how to change what their costumes are, you can see that little coat hanger sign. You click on that, and you can adjust what their suits look like. So, scientist, I'm changing his suit. Engineer, I'm changing his suit. And I did that for the pilot, I think. Yeah. So, now we're doing auto strut. Now, this is one of the settings that you will have turned on in there. I think it's called advanced tweakables. This just allows you to use auto strut rather than having to use manual struts, which can be quite long to get all set up and can be quite annoying. So anyway, just try and auto strut at least the heavy fuel tank parts on it, and just set them to root. Um, and for the boosters, that's the heaviest part. So anyway, press launch. Now we're on the launch pad. You can see I've got grass, trees, atmosphere, and clouds. That's because I'm using Scatterer, um, and I'm using Spectra, and I'm using Parallax for all of the visuals. And I've also got some internal IVA stuff to make the inside looks cool. As you can see, I can also interact with the displays, and you'll see in a second. Some really cool mods you can get on Pecan. If you want to try installing that, there should be some tutorials around on YouTube that you can check out. They'll teach you how to use that, how to put in Pecan and use different mods. And now we are beginning to launch. So to turn SAS on, you press T, put throttle at Z. At maximum you press Z and X. X puts it at minimum, and Shift and control it. So now, as you can see, I'm beginning my gravity turn. You start that at about 30 meters per second on your nav ball. It says it there, and you want to be pointing about 40 degrees on the nav ball by about 10,000. Yeah, 10,000 meters high. So I've sped up the footage a little bit here because it is a bit boring. As you can also see, I've got some cool engine plumes. Those are from the oh goodness, my memory's failing me. Waterfall mod. That's right, waterfall. And then the boosters have detached. You press the spacebar to initiate the stages. So you will have done that to the start. Probably should have mentioned that then. And then again, you probably already know about that if you've gotten to orbit. Don't watch this if you haven't gotten to orbit. So anyway, you can see how I'm performing my gravity turn. Yeah, so that's how you do gravity turn. Gravity turns help with efficiency on your rockets. Then again, you don't have to do it if you can't figure out how to do it or you can't do it right. Don't worry about it. It'll just be a lot less efficient, but it should still make it to the moon if you do it like that. Anyway, so I'm just burning. You can see I've also got a mod called Kerbal Engineer Redux, which is up at the top, and it tells me what my apoapsis height is. Periapsis height is apoapsis height, so I can figure that kind of stuff out quite easily. So now we've got to create a maneuver plan at our apoapsis to get us up into Kerbin orbit. So you can see I'm creating a maneuver nice and close to our apoapsis. Now you pull. Oh, just wait. This is, by the way, this is an after commentary. I'm not doing this is not live. Anyway, now you pull out the prograde on the maneuver node until those lines are apoapsis and periapsis are pretty much in the middle, like between each other. Yep, that's pretty good. Now you select maneuver on your SAS. Um, so if you're time warping, it won't work. But uh, I'm actually not sure what's going on here. Ah, there we go. I've initiated physics time warps. In physics time warp, if you're running on Windows, you can press Alt and the two keys next to the M key will increase and decrease your physics time warp. But if you're running on Linux, you press Shift and do the same thing. And now you can see we've begun our burn. So all I did was just press Z, and it began burning the engines. So now next stage, now it's just finishing off our orbit. There we are. Now we're into orbit pretty well. So you click that. Also, you may have noticed that there's a third burn indicator like number on there. I'm pretty sure that's called advanced burn indicator, I think it was. There's something like that. That basically just just tells you when to start your burn, because sometimes it can be a little difficult having to figure it out. So, in case you don't know, if you create a maneuver plan, it'll tell you estimated burn time and time till you reach the maneuver. So, if my burn was to go 5 minutes to get somewhere, I'd start 2.5. Oh, actually, I can't remember now. Anyway, just turn that setting on. It makes things a lot easier. So now you can see we're in orbit after I was carrying on about something else. Um, so now you can see where the money's in the background. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a specific place, but you can see where I'm creating the maneuver plan relative to the mun. You need to create it something similar. So now you can see that I've gotten an encounter. So when I focus on the mun, it'll show me what my line is for going around the mun. So now I can adjust the maneuver plan. So I just need to get myself at a good angle so I can get that right. You'll see what I'm doing. It's a bit hard to explain. So you'll see what I'm doing with the Apple apps with the maneuver node. So I'll come in pretty, yeah, that's right. I'll zoom in on the mun now. And now I've got a background view of the maneuver node. So you can see, I think I put it at about 40 meters, 40,000, yeah, 40,000 meters. I think I put it about 40,000 meters was my my orbit around the mun. So anyway, you can see my burn there. The lowest one says start burn in a certain amount of time, and then once that reaches 0, that's when you turn on your engine, and you'll start burning by pressing Z. So as long as your engine is on, then you press Z. So once you've activated the stage, then you press Z, it basically turns on your engine. But if you want variable throttle, you just press Shift and it puts the throttle slowly up, and you press Control and it puts it slowly down. And if you need to cut your engine, you just press X. So pretty easy way of doing that. So basically what I do when I'm about to launch is I just press P, Z, space. This is the thing that I memorized, and that's how you get it into launch. So yeah, so I've also turned on RCS because I didn't really need to put any RCS fuel in the monopropellant tank on the command pod. So I'm just using up a bit of it. Increases a little bit of efficiency. So now I'll be getting our burn for the mun. So this is going to get us an intercept with the mun, which then we'll be able to slow ourselves down to get into an orbit. So as you can see, I'm focusing on the muns so that I can see what my orbit line is going to be and all of the details you need to know about with your money counter. So now you can see that the yellow line, that's your orbit, like in that's what you're going to go on, and the purpley one that was there, that was the one created by the maneuver plan. So there you go. You can see I've got myself about 40, I think it was. A bit hard to see on my monitor at the moment, but now we're creating a maneuver plan to slow us down into orbit around the mun. So now that we're going to the mun, we need to slow down rather than accelerate. So you can see I'm pulling the retrograde marker on the maneuver node, maneuver plan. I keep on forgetting which one it's called since KSP2's come out, and that maneuver node is actually called the maneuver plan. So a bit confusing. Also, if you're a beginner that's somehow clicked on this video, choose KSP1 to get started with. KSP2 is very buggy still, and it doesn't run particularly well. Anyway, just arriving at the mun here. And as you can see, this is something to do with the parallax mod if you happen to have it installed. I'm not sure. I've got a pretty powerful laptop. It's pretty good gaming laptop, but it seems to do that when I enter the mun sphere of influence. No other planet, it's just the mun sphere of influence. It seems to, like, all of a sudden slow down, like, doesn't do anything. As you can see, at some points of the video, the frame rate might go a bit low. I'm not sure why it does that. Also, completely forgot to say this. Make sure that you're quick saving all the time. I'm not sure if you noticed it, but press F5 to make a quick save. So if you mess up, like when you're about to start a burn, press F5. And if something goes wrong, you can just hold down F9 and it will load that quick save, and you'll be able to and you won't have to like restart your whole mission again. It makes things a whole lot easier. So anyway, you'll see here, yep, I overshot my maneuver when I was supposed to start it, so I ended up with a bit of a rough orbit, but that's no problem because as you can see the way I'm coming in, um I will actually be able to pull myself down perfectly, so that when I land on the mun, I'll be, on the daylight side, so I can just pretty much continue burning, and I'll be landing on the daylight side. I won't have to worry about trying to land in the dark, which is a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, you just need to be facing retrograde. As you can see, I've put on the marker, on the SAS controller. I've set it to retrograde, so now my ship will start, moving when the frame rate gets up again. Oh, there we go. So now it'll start going to facing retrograde. So that'll decrease our orbit. So there we go. And now you can see I've moved my orbit line down into the ground, and now it's kind of on a crater on the mud. So anyway, that is good. So now you successfully got into orbit around the mun and are ready to land on it. So now we are coming down for landing. Also, if you're a beginner and you want your first mod, easily get Where Can I Go, Kerbal Engineer Redux, and Trajectories. Those are the 3 best mods that you can get for a beginner. Kerbal Engineer Redux will tell you the delta V that you need to get somewhere, in a much better showing than the normal KSP thing. Trajectories will show you a trajectory live, and it will also show you how it will get affected when you enter an atmosphere. And I can't remember what I said the other one was. Oh well, you heard it. Anyway, just get those mods. Those are probably the best mods to get for a beginner in Kerbal Space Program. Yeah, so now you can see I'm slowing myself down. You can see I've nav will automatically switch to surface velocity, so I'm coming in at about 200 meters per second, 250 meters per second. So we just need to slow ourselves down, so we don't crash straight into the mun. Yeah, so oh yeah, that's right. The other mod was Where Can I Go? That's an awesome mod. Now, once you've finished creating a rocket, in the VAB or spaceplane hangar, VAB stands for Vehicle Assembly Building. It'll basically tell you if you have enough delta V to get to a certain place. It has got certain bugs, but it will give you generally, it'll give you pretty accurate, that your ship will make it there. You can set return trip. Yep, it should make it there. It should make it there and back. Yeah, so that's pretty handy. Anyway, now extend your landing gear by pressing G. And we just keep on burning. See, I'm going Shift and then X to stop my engines from burning. Yeah, so now we're beginning to land on the mun. So I just had to make a quick pause in the video there. You may have noticed a little, I don't know, just a little funny moment on the camera. Anyway, now you have successfully landed on the Mun. So as you can see, I actually retracted those solar panels when I was coming in. Just in case there was an accident, the solar panels will be the most likely to break. And you generally want to keep them because they're what's supplying your power. So now I'm just getting the pilot Kerbal out on EVA, so we can go and plant our flag. By the way, I probably shouldn't mention this in the start of the video. Um, oh, I was gonna say, oh goodness, oh excuse this. Oh, I'm really sorry about this. Oh yes, you can add science experiments to this if you're running in science mode. Though I don't think you'd be doing this kind of a mission in science mode because you would have unlocked most of the stuff. But anyway, quick suggestion. Even though I know we're pretty much finished through the video, if you happen to be watching any of my videos again, KSP tutorials, watch the video and then rewatch it when you build your craft, when you copy building. So because I usually forget to say certain things I need to at the beginning. Just a little. Anyway, so you can name your flag if you want to. I didn't really want to. And then this should be the thumbnail shot for my video. Anyway, now we're going just gonna do a little flight with the EVA pack. Also, in case you didn't know, but I think you should know this, but you should know this. WASD, Q and E all move your craft around, including Kerbals. Though I don't think we'd be doing a mod mission if you didn't know how to do that. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to do the gravity turn either. Also, quick tip: if when you're beginning in Kerbal Space Program, press caps lock, like the actual caps lock button on your keyboard, and you will basically get fine control for your rockets. So it'll be like a lot smoother when you try and control them. Yeah. So now we are going to get ready to get back into Mun orbit and make our way back home, back to Kerbin, rather than leaving our Kerbal stranded here. So G to move the landing gear up. I'm just turning my trajectory thing off since I don't need that anymore. And I'm not burning at full steam, just full engine thrust, just so I can get my rocket all lined up, ready. So I'm launching, you know, I'm launching right for proper orbit, so it's not like an all, like, kind of an orbit that you make that doesn't look right, just makes you feel annoyed. Anyway, so I was wondering what was going on here with my aquaxis, but I think it must have just been me. Anyway, you can see how I did kind of a gravity turn there. You don't really need to do the same kind of gravity turn as on Kerbin because there's no atmosphere to worry about, so it doesn't really make it any more efficient or any less efficient for the Mun. So just burning like that's usually the best way to do it. Anyway, you can see my orbit line there. I've just right clicked on it so I can see constantly what my how high I'm gonna be getting. Anyway, now I just press on that and create maneuver plan. Pull on the retrograde marker to pull in just a pretty good orbit. So there we go. So now I've just selected maneuver node on the SAS thing again. And yeah, we're heading up now. Also, quick plug-in. If you are enjoying this video and it is helpful, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. It really helps me out. So thank you if you can do that. If you do that, don't feel that you have to, but if you do that, thank you. So now we are in orbit around the Mun. Just finishing my maneuver. Just press the little X to get rid of it. As you can see, I kind of did a quick save there just by holding F9. I mean, no, sorry, F5, just to make a quick save. Yeah, so that's most of the mission. Also, I turned on a little internal view. By the way, this is .ksp internal view, so you can see all the Kerbals. inside there. Yeah, so now, because I hate landing on Kerbin when it's night, I'm gonna wait until the Mun, is on so like when you're looking from the Mun at Kerbin, you're basically looking at the dark side of the Mun. I mean the Kerbin, sorry. So that basically means that when you come around, you'll be landing on the bright side of the Mun. I mean Kerbin. Oh dear, my words are tangled up. So, now we're basically just waiting until our craft is pretty much perfectly between Kerbin and the Mun, just like in its orbit path. Then you select Prograde. You can do this with Maneuver Node if you want to, but I find it just easiest to do it this way. You don't really need a Maneuver Node to do this. Then just press Z and your engine will burn away. And I just turned all that off because it's a bit annoying to look at all the time. It gets a bit complex. That's just basically the relay network system around all the solar system. So now you can see my orbit line there. Just right click on the periapsis marker, and I'll see what my periapsis altitude should be. So just get it about the number I got it, and you should slow down. The atmosphere will slow you down to land on Kerbin, so you don't need to worry about doing any more burns. Also, don't decouple your um, cockpit yet because quite often it'll make a very big difference to your uh, orbital line, and it can mess up your things there. You can also see I time warped a little bit too much there, and I basically just went through and it didn't really catch the physics of it. But anyway, now I'm facing retrograde and I'm retracting all the solar panels. This should be a pretty safe spot to decouple. And yeah, basically there's not much else to it. Just heading down to the atmosphere now and just time warping. And then once your heat shield stop burning, you can also see I didn't add full ablator because you don't really need much. It doesn't really use much. Now just press space and let your parachutes deploy. And oh, how about that? Perfect timing. And just make the way down to Kerbin. Back down till we land on Kerbin. You can see the parallax mod there has added a lot of trees, and it really looks good, I reckon. I really think it looks good. So there we are. Now we have landed back on Kerbin, a successful mission. Yeah, so that's pretty much the Mun mission. Yeah, so I hope you liked the video. Um, if you liked it, that's really good. If you press like, so you just recover the vessel, and you're done. That's the done for the mission. Oh well, thanks for watching this video. Just say it again, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Write a comment if you really enjoyed it. Um, yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video whenever that comes out. The Kerbal Space Program. Bye.